Hey y'all, today we are going to unbox a Chareco 114CH Chainstitch Embroidery machine. You're going to open up the box, and on top you're going to find your collection of accessories and a handful of stitch samples that I've made for you on your machine. Ooh, double felted chenille, low, medium, and high pile. That's pretty cool. And you get a wire to clean out the tube and a belt guard. The machine's going to come packed in plastic, some anti-rust qualities. You're going to get an oil bottle. You're going to get a screwdriver. You're going to get some pliers. You're going to get a manual. You're going to get a standard and metric needle bar, a handle, clawfoot, some more screwdrivers, threading wire, a hook knife. You're going to get some tweezers. You're going to get some mounting hardware. You're going to get some needles. You're going to get more needles. Oh, what's that? A little nipple wrench. How fun. So for the time being, I'm going to ask you to leave out the large screwdriver, a needle bar, your machine handle, and the pin that comes in the same package. Here's what those look like, poorly lit. Alright, this is what your machine looks like. So for the purpose of this tutorial, we're going to take off the face shield. Do that by just loosening the screw and then sliding the shield up and off, just like that. And I like to replace the screw so it doesn't get lost. You can take a look inside the body of the machine by removing the body plate. You can see that I have left the stop motion rocker installed, which is the part that I just pointed to. Alright, so to install the handle, you're going to put this pin in the handle bevel gear tube. That's one of the parts that helps actuate the stop motion. And then you're going to fasten the handle underneath the machine using your screwdriver. You want the wooden part of your handle to face the same direction as the needle bar clamping thumb screw. So right now that's pointed left, so is our handle. I'm just going to install the faceplate onto the body, and here is an example of how the stop motion system works. So I'm using the motor the whole time, yoking down on the handle to get the machine to run and pushing back up to get it to stop. So to get the machine into the table, you're going to want to grab the hinges that came with the table. I like to slip the belt onto the servo motor before I get the machine into the tabletop, and then resting the machine in the table, slide the hinges into the body of the machine and align them with the metal brackets in the tabletop. That's pretty good stuff. Check it out. Alright, so let's get started. I'm using a piece of scrim felt with stabilizer as a topping so that I can see my pattern. I'm going to take my needle bar and needle. I hold the needle in my left hand and twist the needle bar with my right, and then to secure it good and snug, I'll use a pair of pliers towards the top of the needle just to get it nice and secure. Now the open point of the hook needs to face the same direction as the thumb screw. And let's see if I can get you a nice quick video on how to thread the machine. So the thread comes off the cone, up and over the pair of tension discs, and then back to front through the J-shaped take-up spring. Use my threading wire through the front of the two holes on the needle plate. Comes up and out, and then I bring the thread under the foot and that's all you need to do to get started with your chain stitch embroidery. I rotate the handle a couple of times to make sure that the thread is in the notch of the looper, and adjust my needle height so that I have the correct amount of thread coming up through the needle plate. And here we go. First I do my outline and then start to fill. So I'm using a tearaway stabilizer here as a stencil, and as you can see, when you're done with it, you tear it away. This is a 1.5 ounce tearaway from Madeira. Alright, so let's switch the machine over to moss or chenille. I'm going to take off the rubber shoe foot, which will be installed on your machine when you receive it, and then I'm going to take my Madeira Burmilana cotton and attach a new piece of chenille yarn to that thread. Just do an overhand knot, and then you can actually pull the new thread tied to your old thread up and through the tension assembly. Now this machine has a quick change worm gear, which allows you to rapidly change from chain stitch to moss stitch. So all you have to do is pull it hard to the right, and the spring-loaded collar will rotate in the worm gear. And when you rotate the handle 180 degrees, it'll lock back into place. Alright, so I'm installing the claw foot now for our chenille work. The claw teeth help to keep the pile nice and fluffy, so it doesn't compress the chenille like the rubber foot would. These feet are a little bit short for the machine, so what I like to do is loosen the clamp and press down just a little bit so that the bottom of the foot is flush with the needle plate. Now I'm installing a moss needle, and unlike the chain stitch needles, when you're doing moss or chenille embroidery, the open barb of the hook needs to face in the opposite direction of the thumb screw, which is in my left hand now. I like to keep my needle raised fairly high, use a short stitch length, and really reduce my tension on the machine when I'm doing chenille work. I have found with the chenille that these machines create a much higher, fluffier, even stitch when the handle underneath the machine is rotated counterclockwise. So this should be just about everything you need to know to receive, unbox, and start sewing on your Chareco 114CH chenille and chain stitch embroidery machine. If you have any more questions, give me a holler. Check out our new website, chainstitch.tips. We have a nice little Patreon and Instagram present, and I hope that you just have fun. That's really what it's all about. Enjoy yourself.